I have built over 24 chessboards. This one I decided to keep. I'm going to tell you the reasons why as we go through the long process of making this chessboard. My next chessboard is going to be made with a field of clear maple and black walnut. I don't know whether I have enough black walnut. I know I have enough maple. This is resawn from a piece of 4x4 clear. But these also resawn from 4x4 stock were offcuts. And I think I have just enough to make 64 squares, 32 each species. My next step is going to be cutting them the same width, which will be 2 inches. Before I do the final measurement between the blade and the fence to give me my perfect 2-inch width, I need to install these 2 sacrificial fence pieces. I'm using double stick glue. They're in 2 pieces because what I want to do is use both of these to run the cut this way, the resaw cut, and then I'm going to take that off, and using a 90-degree miter fence, the woodpecker one, I'm going to just use this in order to set the wood against it and then run it along the blade this way using the miter fence to push it all the way through. But with this out of the way, there won't be any friction against the fence. It'll just be a nice free clean push past the blade. Practically 0 chance of kickback. Because I'm setting the fence and then doing the cuts, I switched out my blade to a combination blade so that I can do rip and cross cut without having to move anything to change the blade. The next step after cutting all the squares is to do a rough sanding. There's some little bits that are left over the cutting process. I want to make sure that all the corners and the sides are clean. And once I get that done, I set it up on this jig. You can see the jig will cover an entire chessboard field. And I'll get them all here. Started with a walnut in the corner, so now I'm going to move to an ash. Make sure the grains go in the same way. Another ash. Next will be 3 walnuts. This is all pretty cut and dried. It just takes time. But I have to make sure that all the gluing sides are clean and ready to take the glue. Once I get these all set down, you know, all 32 ash and 32 walnut, I'll look at the pattern. Make sure that the grains look good. I want the entire field to have a pleasing, well-balanced look without some individual square that's so glaringly out of place because of its grain or color. It turns out the only real decisions I needed to make here was in the ash fields. You can see this side is lighter than this side. So I could have gone with all that or all this. Right now I'm thinking this because it's got a little bit more of a mellow color to it. I might change my mind though. I'm just going to let it sit overnight. Anyway, tomorrow will be the big glue up where I transfer all of these squares onto the 3/4 inch birch base. Here. This is just the glue up jig.